An international march against domestic and sexual violence received strong local support last weekend. Hundreds of men walked in stylish high heels in downtown Anoka in opposition to all forms of violence against women. CTN's Dan Carpenter takes us to the Walk a Mile in Her Shoes march.
Taking a stand against sexual and domestic violence.
Down here we got some really high heel pink ones over here for you.
Doesn't have to be done in boring shoes. No one said they'd be comfortable. Yet more than 600 people signed up to walk a mile in her shoes. It's an international march that works to raise awareness about the violence that still leaves women and girls injured and killed.
1 in 6 women experience sexual violence during their lifetime.
Remembered here as silhouettes, are local victims.
Every single one of these silhouettes, if you read, there's a story about the tragedy in which they ended up losing their lives. So it's really a way to remember them and to really honor their memory.
By literally wearing women's shoes, a man's perspective changes instantly.
It's not heel-toe, really.
It's also meant to be a demonstration of empathy.
It's toe, I think, and then put down the heel maybe at some point, I think.
This mile march, sometimes moved, add a shuffle.
I want them to understand, how it feels like to be in somebody else's shoes.
Let's go, L-E-T-S-G-O, let's!
But with the help of the Centennial cheerleaders and marching band, everyone would reach the finish line.
It's such a great symbolism to show that, this is really important and we're willing to do this to show our support in the fight against domestic and sexual violence.
Proceeds from the walk benefit Alexandra House, a local shelter for women and children.
The majority of men are good men who want to do what is right. We can no longer stand by silently as women and girls are violated.
A call for these good men to bring about much needed change.
The men who know and understand that violence of all forms against females is wrong.
Dan Carpenter for CTN Update.
This year's Walk a Mile in Her Shoes raised $30,000 for the Alexandra House. The event organizers say they hope the walk will raise community awareness about domestic and sexual violence and galvanize strong community opposition.